Taynish, a national nature reserve, a rare and special place. This forest has looked and sounded very much the same for 7,000 years. For generation after generation, people have prized it, and their different voices have echoed among the trees. When the Iron Age farmers looked out from the Barmore hilltop, they gazed over woods which had changed little since the ice left Scotland, since the trees reclaimed this land, and the birds returned to welcome the dawn with song.
Tread softly on my ancient floor. Leave no mark upon my oaken leaves. Steal silently through my cherished paths, and return homeward with an inspired heart.
When the Norsemen first brought their longships gliding into the shelter of Loch Sween, they cruised beside these same woodlands running down to the sea. Such places are scarce in Britain. The early settlers cleared much of the country's woodland. More recent generations have replanted some of it, but with conifers. In all Europe there are few ancient forests left, and among them, here on the Atlantic shore, Taynish is a gem. But this forest wears its great age lightly. On a spring day, the latest generation of visitors find it full of delight and inspiration.
The kids love coming to Taynish to play. There's so much freedom. They can play down at the water, at the waterfall, and play poo sticks, their favourite thing, and go exploring in the woods.
We like playing poo sticks in Taynish. It's fun.
The painting at Taynish was really good. I really enjoyed it because you could paint all these different things and with different textures and at different places, so you got different ideas each time.
My favourite part going in the wildlife group was probably doing the charcoal. I really enjoyed that and I hope to go back.
And if you got to do art or something, there's loads of things and it really inspires you to do all the colours.
I need a paintbrush, please. Okay, Phil, the box here.
Oaks are at the heart of this reserve. You'd be hard-pressed to tell that 150 years ago they were vital to the Industrial Revolution, providing bark for tanning leather and timber for charcoal burning. Now the trees stand here undisturbed, many of them bent by more than a century of gales. When the oldest trees die, they lie where they fall. Dead wood is as valuable as live if you're an insect. For them, this is a real haven. Cloaking every surface and thriving on this mild, wet coast is a shroud of lichens, mosses and ferns, which would do credit to any rainforest. And, in a sense, this is a rainforest. A temperate one, and its plants are as rare in Europe as the forest they live in. Lower plants they're sometimes called, and it's easy enough to miss them as you pass by, but if you spend a moment to look more closely, you'll be drawn into a fascinating miniature world.
I think Taynish is magical, especially in the early morning. I just think it's a magical place to be. Taynish is really one of my favourite places.
The sharp ridges which the trees cloak were once islands, and between these naps are the dales. The deepest of them may hold as much as 9 metres of peat. The wetlands are home to 13 types of dragonflies and a host of smaller insects they prey on.
Never seen one so close. Got brown legs. And a black body.
These mires are one of the most important areas of the reserve, part of what makes Taynish so special.
You come off Bar Moor, and there above us on the ridge is this buzzard floating away. And you come down through the canopy.
And we saw that wood warbler, it was beautiful.
And you hear that it's singing. Three days ago, 4 days ago, it was in Africa. And there it is in Taynish. Just there for our delight.
"100 types of bird, 300 flowering plants, 450 moths, a quarter of all Britain's mosses, ferns and liverworts. Taynish is home to so much life, thanks in part to the variety of its dramatic landscape, which in turn gives us such pleasure, however we choose to explore it.
I really hope Taynish is a nature reserve when I'm a grandma, because I want to bring my grandchildren to see all the lovely things here.
I like the peace and the quiet and the flowers coming out in the spring. We like the birds. There's a robin, quite tame. It's a magic place. To think that 10 years ago we had to come in Wellingtons. Now it's lovely.
And the variety and the fascination of the place carries on right down to the sea, where you can find 2 of the most important animals which live here. John Halliday from SNH checks on them regularly.
Yeah, Taynish is a wonderful reserve, and what makes it really special, extra special really, is the presence of these beautiful butterflies, the marsh fritillaries, which you can see on the coastal grasslands at the end of May and through June. I've been here 18 years now as reserve manager, and it really is a highlight of my year at Taynish.
Ensuring that the marsh fritillary has a future is why it's vital to get the management of the coastal meadows at Taynish just right. And down on the shore, there are otters. They have fished these waters and made their paths and holts throughout the woods since before the first people came to Taynish. There are few places in Europe which suit them so well. As a national nature reserve, Taynish is a showcase for some of Scotland's most iconic wildlife. A natural treasure for us all to enjoy and to cherish.
It's a place for lifting the spirit, and you don't want the cars and the motorbikes and the noisy things about, because it's so peaceful. We have a huge responsibility to preserve this, because it's a legacy that we really need to ensure goes on and on.